Good afternoon, I'm Daryl Stranger filling in for Melissa Ridgen. Today we're putting pizza, yes, the delicious, mouth-watering food that everyone enjoys, in focus. We'll be joined from coast to coast today with a variety of chefs and restaurant owners who all enjoy a common food. You guessed it, it's pizza. We'll be joined by Mr. Bannock himself, Paul Natral from Vancouver. He owns a food truck in Vancouver and he'll be showing us his technique on how to make the perfect Bannock pizza. Also joining us today is James O'Rourke, also known as Jimmy Two Times or Jimmy Num Nums, for his delicious pizza in northern Manitoba. Then we will go all the way to Wigomac, I don't think I'm saying that right, but I'll get that cleared later in the show, Nova Scotia, and take a look at Sky Mountain Pizza. They just recently opened and the demand is already just huge. Plenty in store for you today, so hopefully you won't be too hungry after today's show, but no promises. I know I'm going to be sticking right there with you. We also want you to join in on our conversation. You can tweet us at APTN InFocus or email infocus@aptn.ca. Now, before I introduce you to our guests, let's set the scene a little bit. And a warning, this story may have you working up an appetite already. I know the show just started, so bear with us. Let's start in the Northwest Territories, where our reporter Charlotte Moore-Jacobs takes us to Lutzelk'e to see what's cooking.
So right now I'm preparing pizza sauce.
It's a Dene take on a fan favorite, mouth-watering muskox pizza. Cameron Enzo is only 20 years old and making a name for himself as an entrepreneur.
I've gotten my friends involved. I've paid them money to do lots of tasks like sell pop, go and be a part of my own canteen, do surveys on what pop sold the most at what times.
Located in the remote 300-person community of Lutzelk'e, Northwest Territories, he's been selling his product for roughly 3 years. The ooey gooey goodness goes for $45 a pie, and he can sell anywhere from 15 to 30 pizzas over a weekend. He sticks to similar ingredients as a deluxe, with peppers, pepperoni, and cheese.
Everybody in town is mostly the same. There are people who like pineapples. Pineapples is actually extremely hard to get, so it's better for me as a businessman not to sell to those specific types of people, because I won't be gaining as much markup as I would buying the pineapples. It'd mostly just stay at home.
A key topping: sustainably harvested muskox.
The secret is knowing where your aminal was. I may have not shot the aminal, but I was always a part of like either helping bring the meat back home, grounding up the meat. That was usually always my job.
His ventures do come with opinions. In some Dene communities, there's protocol on not selling country foods like dry meat.
They didn't say, hey, why are you doing this? But I have had people tell me that I've been talked about and they don't necessarily agree with it. They think I'm kind of stealing from the land. I definitely feel bad that I have to disagree with them, because I feel like with this like stuff that I'm doing, I'm definitely prospering and I'm bringing more customers to Lutzelk'e to hopefully do guides and for people so people can do guides, take them around, tell them about the land.
Enzo plans to expand his ventures, selling through the Lutzelk'e Dene First Nations Frontier Lodge, and maybe even to Yellowknife establishments.
With my idea of expansion to hopefully Yellowknife and like freezing pizza and sending it to Yellowknife, people will be more inclined to visit Lutzelk'e, because like they see this awesome like pizza that the boy in Lutzelk'e made.
Charlotte Moore-Jacobs, APTN National News, Lutzelk'e.
This is really good.
A great way to start our show, and our first guest joining me today is Paul Natral, better known as Mr. Bannock. He owns a food truck in Vancouver and is director at the Indigenous Culinary of Associated Nations. He has specialized in Indigenous cuisine, for over 10 years. Now, Chef Natral, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and
It's a very awesome topic, and I have a big tribe, and this is one of their favorites for sure.
So what is it about pizza that makes it universally loved just, everywhere?
Yeah, so I think there's a variety. So you can have like thin crust, you can have like a Chicago style, Bannock style, like thick crust, and just your favorite toppings. Like it's really good.
All right, so what's your dream pizza? Give us a nice detailed description.
Yeah, so I think obviously a Bannock pizza. It's really good. I would love doing like a smoked chicken or smoked pork with some bacon, obviously, and maybe a barbecue sauce and some like fresh grated Parmesan and chili flakes on there. It'd be awesome.
All right, you're making me hungry already. So no matter where you are in the country, people will insist that they know the best pizza joint. Why is there this passion to claim that title? I mean, no one's even really asking, and people are just putting it out there loudly and proudly.
Yeah, I guess just to have a hot spot that people can come to and enjoy your style, right? I guess more so bragging rights than anything.
So fried chicken, Chinese, or pizza, what do you think is most popular with Indigenous people?
Ooh.
Tough question, I know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If you sat down with a table of me and my family, I think it would be straight down the middle.
Yeah.
And it'd come down to rock, paper, scissors,
Rock, paper, scissors, maybe flip a coin too. So a little bit about you. How did you get started on your journey as a chef? What got you started in cooking?
Yeah, so I grew up in the kitchen with my mother and my grandmother, and just got to see how they cooked like really rustic and home style meals every night. I had a lot of people in the house, so they'd be cooking for a little army every night, and I just grew from there, like passion and going to culinary school and realizing that there's a lot missing for Indigenous food culture, and that just really narrowed down what I wanted to do.
What were some of the things that they taught you that you still keep with today?
The Bannock for sure. My grandmother that I lived with, because she took me and my sisters and my mom in when my dad passed away, but she always did a baked Bannock, and that was always good, and it was a bit healthier, right? You can just do almost anything with it. Hers was her favorite was having it toasted, like almost burnt, like you can see like a lot of dark spots, but with a little bit of butter and jam. And then my other grandmother did a fried bread as well, right? So like they say, like Indigenous food culture is obviously regional, but each family has different recipes that they're known for. So you can always learn and experience new things,
For sure. And I don't have a nickname, nothing close or cool as yours. How did Mr. Bannock all come about?
Yeah, it's a pretty funny story, because when I was a single father of 5 kids for a long time, but when I met my partner now, Kelly, she would chat with some of her girlfriends, and they'd be asking how she's doing and what's the story with Mr. Bannock, because they knew that I freshly started my own business, and I was doing the markets and the farmers markets, the night markets, and all that stuff, right? It was right before I launched the Mr. Bannock food truck, so it was actually a nickname that I got from my partner's friends.
Well, like I said, very cool, and the fact you have a nickname is already a step up on me, and I'm sure a lot of people. And speaking of the food truck, why did you want to open up a food truck as opposed to a restaurant?
Yeah, so obviously, financial reasons, it's a lot cheaper than having a brick and mortar. I spent probably about 60K altogether in on the food truck, but if you get into a brick and mortar, it's anywhere from like 100K up to $1 million, depending on location, you know, and just to be able to drive on the res and say, "There's Mr. Bannock." No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
And are you looking at expanding at all? Maybe getting another food truck or possibly a restaurant down the road at all?
Yeah, for sure. I started recently started a second company where it's franchisable for. It's called Mr. Bannock Coffee House, and the goal is to teach other Indigenous communities to learn like the ins and outs of the food service, and hopefully get some experience in other communities doing Indigenous food culture.
And Chef Natrell, before we let you go, do you have any advice for maybe some young aspiring chefs or just people who might be making their own pizza and thinking, hey, maybe I could sell this?
Yeah, like it's always fun to just be at home and cook. It's in my zen when I'm at home in my kitchen. The good thing about doing that is you can put as much as you like and leave all the other stuff out. But just have fun and be creative. Like play in the kitchen. Like how many times I was in the kitchen just testing out stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that I did not like and enjoy that I created. But you just take notes and try be better than what you did yesterday, right?
Well, great advice indeed. And I can't thank you enough for joining us here, kicking off our show. That's all about pizza. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. You folks have a good day.
All right, we need to step aside for a quick break, but you're going to want to stick around. When we come back, Paul Natrell will show us how to make a Bannock pizza from scratch. And all I can say is I wish I had one with me here right now. Stick around.
Station now. Call in toll free at 1-877 647 2786. Like us on Facebook on our APTN News page. Follow or tweet us at APTN InFocus. And send your thoughts to infocus@aptn.ca.
And InFocus, well, it seems like everyone has a favorite pizza place or a way of making their own pizza, and many of our communities have beloved pizza shops or people who cook and just sell pizzas on occasion from their own homes. Well, our social media editor, Jesse Andrushko, got a lot of recommendations online and joins us now. Jesse.
Thanks, Daryl. We asked online for people to share their favorite pizzas, and we got a lot of submissions. Let's take a look at a few, but keep in mind, this will make you hungry. First from Anthony. His cousin Joshua from Lake St. Martin, known as the Pizza Man, made this delicious pie. Anthony said that on a good day, the Pizza Man can make 10 or more pizzas with his wife and sons. Looks amazing. Jenner shared their deadly homemade pizza, one half veggie with peppers, tomato, mushroom, and the other half cheese. Mouth-watering. Here's one from Caitlin, an Indigenous lawyer by day, foodie and pizza maker by night. Mozzarella, pepperoni, jalapeno, basil, pesto, and hot honey. Dough hand-rolled and made from scratch with her partner Robert. Mouth-watering. Greek pizza, anyone? Bev in Watson Lake makes these tasty pizzas to order. Cheese, peppers, looks delightful. Here's a homemade pizza from Roberta in Carcross, Yukon. A healthy dose of cheese and sausage. Roberta says that everyone in her little community is always asking to make pizzas. I don't blame them, Roberta. Looks amazing. Crystal's favorite pizza comes from Albert Jones in Escanaba Ditch First Nation. She shared a drool-worthy picture with mushrooms, pepperoni, peppers. Totally drool-worthy. Tracy nominated Jan's Pizza. She shared a picture of the Janzerati, saying it's to die for. I agree, looks very, very good. From Puckenawagan, Manitoba, Taya shared her Res XL loaded pizza with pepperoni, salami, cheese, bell peppers, mushrooms, pineapples, hamburgers, and bacon. Love it, especially the pineapple. Rena is carrying on tradition, copying her mom who always made pizza, homemade dough and shredded pepperoni with veggies and lots of cheese. From Pimenay-Butang First Nation, Tyler shared this masterpiece from a local pizza maker, Sheila McLean. Sign me up, the crust looks so good. Tina, a member of Attawapiskat First Nation, living in Thunder Bay, shared some wood-fired pizza. Look at that mozzarella just melting off the side. Another drool-worthy one for sure. Lastly, from Lorna in Lustigers, Quebec, her husband Lanson, owner and operator of Nellie's Pizza, makes some delicious, unique pizzas. Here's their pickle pizza. Very, very cool. Good stuff. Thank you for everyone who shared their pictures. We'll be actually posting more of these online over the week on the InFocus Twitter page and on APTN News Facebook page. If you want to share your favorite pizza, here's how. Join our conversation now. Send your thoughts to infocus at aptn.ca, like us on Facebook on our APTN News page, and follow or tweet us at APTN InFocus.
All right, thanks for that, Jesse. That's definitely a lot of great looking pizzas there. Not so sure about pineapple on pizza, but we'll leave that for another discussion. And it is now time for a lesson in Bannock pizza making. Paul Natral has a great video on how to make the perfect Bannock pizza crust right from scratch.
Welcome to my home in West Vancouver, BC. We're in the traditional territories of my people, the Squamish Nation. Tonight, I just wanted to do a free cooking demo for everybody who got our awesome classic Bannock mix under the tree this year. We have two different kinds. We're gonna have one with pepperoni, one with prosciutto, and my partner Kelly does this awesome pesto sauce and also tomato sauce that we do every summer. And then we got some fresh basil, we got some mozzarella, we're gonna grate some for the pepperoni, and we're gonna slice some for the prosciutto. And I don't know if you guys can see all of these nice jars here. They're all labeled on top, and then on the bottoms you can see clearly what they are. So if you got regular canned tomatoes, ours is jarred. We just do it plain, but you can doctor it up. So we're gonna kind of do like a homemade Italian. We got powdered garlic, some dried thyme, basil, oregano, salt, pepper, and a little bit of chili flakes. Yeah. So who's ready to get cooking? If you got the Bannock mix, crack it open right now. But I'm using a KitchenAid mixer for mine. So in each Bannock mix that everybody gets sent to their homes or picked up at the kitchen is 4 cups of flour. That's 3, this is 4. That one's good. It's 4 tablespoons of baking powder. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 4 tablespoons of salt, sugar. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 4 teaspoons of salt. This is one of my favorite parts. I was just having a conversation with some of the kids recently about what Bannock really is. Like with these two, baking powder and salt is pretty much a science. It expands the dough. 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of people use baking powder and salt methods, or other people use the yeast method. Yeast and sugar also expands. It helps the bread fluff up some. So this is the crucial part where all the magic happens. So we got all of that mixing there. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit more. If you guys have the Bannock mix, all of this is already pre-mixed, so you don't have to do any of this. But I'm doing mine from scratch, so I'm just mixing it. So like I said, this is 2 cups here. I'm gonna do about 1 of these and then a half. So you slowly add it. And as it adds, you crank it up a little bit more. That was a little bit high. You can see that the dough trying to form there. It needs some more water. Oh yeah. Crank that up. Actually, it's almost there. I don't even need one. So, just a little bit more. And once it's all formed like that, come have a quick little look. All of it's all formed and clumped together. So that's good. Now you just turn it up high. Let that mix just for like 2 minutes. While that's mixing, I'll come over here. I already started preheating the oven. I put it at 400 degrees. And the good thing about making pizza is, like, I gave you guys a recipe, yes, but they're just guidelines. The main thing you have to follow is for the Bannock mix. You can add as much seasonings or different kind of toppings you want. The joys about making your own stuff at home. You can add as much or as little as anything you want. Me personally, I really love pesto. So So I'll put a little bit extra of that on there. So this is probably about maybe 2 cups there. So the second one, I'm gonna come have a look here. I'm just gonna slice this one. I'm gonna cut it in half. And then we're just gonna do some slices. So on a tip here, pro tip, if you guys are kneading stuff from like scratch, you pound it down, you pull the top, you pull it and push in, turn it, pull, push, pull, push, pull, push, pull and push. And then at the ends, grab it and form a ball, just like so. There we go. Bannock dough is ready to go. Just make sure it's scored in all the corners, all the edges, so you don't get any big bubbles when it's cooking. It smells so good. Again, it's about 4 tablespoons per pizza. But like I said, besides the dough, it's pretty much to your own likings. Oh man, you can smell the fresh basil. You get a hint of that garlic on there. And again, the recipe called for about 100 grams. But like I said, you can add as much or as little as you like. You're making it, so you call the shots, folks. We got the pesto down. We got a tiny bit of shredded mozzarella. We got the prosciutto. Now we're gonna finish it with the sliced mozzarella. It ain't easy being cheesy. I always say that to my boys when they're down. It's pretty funny. So boom, Bannock pizza. Score, make the dough, score it, pesto, shredded mozza, the toppings, like the meat, and then the sliced mozzarella. So oven's at 400. We're gonna throw that in here, like so. Boom. Put a timer on. Kitchen timer will do 4 minutes, and then we'll rotate it. I had many great mentors that taught me various foods. I did pastas and pizzas, I did wok cooking, I did Greek food, I did Asian food. That's how I create fusion indigenous foods. Boom. Alright. So, I know this is the one everybody's been waiting for. What did I do with that other spoon? So I'm gonna pour some of the tomato sauce, homemade tomato sauce, folks, from the summertime. We got some dried oregano, just a dash of that, a dash of thyme, just like that, dash of basil, some pepper, some garlic, some pickling salt, check it out. So there's a doctored up tomato sauce there. Give that a quick mix. Ooh, you can see all the herb action there. That looks pretty decent. Oh yeah, you can see all the herbs and spices that we just put in there and mixed it up. Snap. That's gonna be so good. So again, a tiny bit of that, the mozzarella. It's time, while that's done, we're gonna rotate the pizza. I grabbed a big flipper, just grab it and rotate it. So I rotated it, put it under, gave it about a quarter turn. We'll do another timer. We'll do 5 minutes. Go. Kitchen timer, 5 minutes. Not the actual. Don't start the microwave. Kelly got this awesome fresh, some freshly sliced pepperoni. But you can use your favorite kind of meats that you got, whatever's available there. And yeah, when we did the pizza dinner here, when my kids were here, I think I did three dough balls, and we got eight doughs, like personal pizzas, and then we had an extra one for pizza pockets and focaccia. So Bannock dough, doctored up, tomato sauce, your favorite meat, and then we're gonna go with the mozzarella. Freshly grated, folks. Oh my God, I wish you guys were here to smell it. I'm pretty sure all of your guys' kitchens are smelling really good right about now. And like I said, you're making this, so feel free to add more or less of what you like and what you don't like. I added all of that mozzarella. Boom. And I'm gonna add just a touch of these around the crust on this one. Just kick it up a little notch. That's good. That one's ready to go. Also, we got some fresh basil here. I'll show you guys a couple ways to do it. That's good for the first one, but pick the biggest ones that you can. So it's 3 of each. So you grab all 3 of them. You know, come over here for a second. Grab all 3 and roll it just as tight as you can get it. Just like so. And grab your knife, make sure it's nice and sharp, and then cut it as thin as you can get it. And that's called a chiffonade. Woo! Dang! Oh ho ho ho! Let's pull that bad boy out. Oh yeah. Look at that. So we'll put the basil up there. That one there. Dust this one off a little bit more. Ooh, this one's hot from the thing. Sometimes this gets a little messy, folks. So get any of the wet stuff off of there. That one's good. Kitchen timer, 7 minutes, start. Put it back on bake. $400. All right. So come and have a look here, folks. You can see the crust is nice and golden on the edges. You can see the caramelization on the cheese. This is one of my favorite ones to use, especially on pizza night. Thank you, Sue. So I cut it. That's 4. And then you go in half again. So you get 8 pieces per pizza. Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang. A touch of Parmesan. Touch of chili flakes. Should I go right or left? Right or left? I'm gonna go a little bit more finesse. The chiffonade. Dang. So we'll use this one for the other pizza. And there you go, folks. Bannock pizza.
Wow, I gotta say I am by no means a chef, but I will definitely be trying a Bannock pizza in the very near future. Now you can also use your own Bannock recipe, or if you like, check out mrbannock.com to order one of his mixes. And Chicago has deep dish and New York has its famous wide slices, but what about Thompson style pizza? Co-owner Kenny Braun just called in to let us know that they have the biggest Facebook following of any restaurant in Manitoba, roughly about 9,000 followers. He says they sell between 70 and 100 pizzas a day. And our friend at CTV, photojournalist Jamie Dowsett, shows you how it's done in northern Manitoba and where you can grab a slice in Winnipeg.
Well, a Thompson style pizza is a pizza that comes from the north. The dough itself almost weighs 2 pounds. It's really about a tangy sauce. There's shredded meat and also sliced meat. And then a lot of cheese, really. It's a really thick pizza.
The crust has to be able to hold the meat.
I heard that it's a Chicago style with a New York twist.
We started off with $0, and in 6 months we're going to be sitting on a brick and mortar. So I think that the pizza really speaks for itself.
We do about 50, 60 pizzas here, but sometimes we were we're turning away 100 orders, 150 orders, and
The people of Thompson, you know, they say you got to try this pizza, and for them it's sharing a piece of their home. They've talked about it for years. Oh, if you ever go up to Thompson, try the pizza. Now the pizza's here and they're trying it, they're getting their friends to try it. Deep emotional connection with this pizza for a lot of people. And we hope to develop that with, you know, the younger generations of Winnipeg.
Oh, I wish I had some pizza right now. All right, so we're talking about pizza in northern Manitoba, and there's one that is cherished at Opaskwayak Cree Nation near the Paw, and that's James O'Rourke's Pizza. Now he's known as Jimmy Two Times, and his food Jimmy Num Nums. We've got him on the line now with us from the OCN the Paw area. Jimmy, thanks so much for being on with us today.
Good afternoon, and how are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. Now your
You
pizza.
must be a little bit hungry right now.
Oh man, you have no idea. I wish I had some pizza sitting right here with me. But your pizza has a long history at OCN. Can you tell us the backstory?
My spouse, her dad, used to make the pizzas here in the Paw, and he taught his kids how to make them, and then she showed me, and our goal is to show our kids and continue the tradition and make it just really good pizza for all the people in the community.
Now, our social media went absolutely berserk with people giving shout outs to their favorite pizza, and people certainly tagged your pizzas for us. What do you think it is about pizza that makes it so beloved?
I think it's because I try and make our customers happy with what they get.
Well, that's a great answer. And as we just saw in that last clip there, Thompson is laying claim to its own style of pizza. Do you think there may be a little bit of a pizza battle going on between Thompson and the Paw?
It could be, but I don't think it's about a battle. I think it's about making everyone happy.
All right. And do you have a favorite pizza somewhere other than your own pizza that you like to get?
Like if I was to go to Winnipeg, I would look for a gondola.
Gondola pizza. Yeah, that's a good pizza. I think that's probably my favorite too. Jimmy, thank you so much for joining us for a few minutes here on APTN InFocus and talking a little bit about how you got your start.
Yeah, the main thing is that anybody can do anything that they want. Like we're on a reserve, and as long as you follow the provincial guidelines and make food and health and safety happy, that anyone can do anything in any form of business for the future. Because I think the kids need to know that they can do anything they want in the future if they put their mind to it.
Perfect. Certainly great advice. Thank you so much for joining us. It's time now for a quick break, but when we return, we go to Nova Scotia and see how pizza is done on the East Coast.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Have a great rest. Welcome back to APTN in Focus, where we're putting pizza in focus. Joining us now is a familiar face, our former colleague Amber Bernard and her parents Tina and Leonard Bernard. They just recently opened up Sky Mountain Pizza in Waigoma 3 weeks ago, and the success is almost too hard to keep up with. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I am very excited to be talking to you today.
Thank you.
Now, just as I mentioned, you guys haven't even been open a month and you're getting calls sometimes even after close. I mean, we just got a call in commercial break. How's this first 3 weeks been for you?
Busy.
Non-stop. And it's like, we didn't know we were going to run a marathon. Let's put it that way. You know how that feels when you think you're going to run the mile? Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I did not prepare for this. Every day, we were really, really running off our feet, eh?
It just go and go.
Which is good. It's a good busy. It's a really good busy. It took us by surprise.
So the first day we opened, we talked to the supplier for our pizza and everything and our cheese and everything all. And he says, okay, this should be good. This should last you a week's worth of supply. And then we opened the first day. We were in 10 hours. We were gone. It was done. We had nothing.
Panic in your teeth.
We couldn't open the next day because we had to reorder. So it was like, wow, this one kind of overwhelmingly quick, was unreal.
Yeah.
Wow, a week's worth in 1 day. All right, so how did you get started in the pizza business? What kind of led to you and your family opening up this restaurant?
Well, Mom, you want to say it? I was just going to say, pizza's been a family tradition for so long, because when we were little, there was a bunch of us and Mom used to make pizza on the weekends. So Mom, you want to tell them how it's a recipe being made over 20 years?
20 years. Yeah, a little over 20 years. We were a small family. We lived on welfare about 400 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, under.
And so we would feel good if we had money left over to get Tim Hortons, get something small for the kids. And then I realized, oh my goodness, I just got to start making pizza for them. And so that's when we began to do that. And it just stayed, whether we worked or went to school. Fridays and Saturdays were our pizza days at home. So we just kept developing the recipe, the bread and everything. So, yeah.
Well, I'm sure many people can relate to that story for sure. And historically, there hasn't really been very many Indigenous-owned businesses, but we're seeing more and more pop up over the years, yours included. Why do you think that is?
I think it's, and this gets to me when I talk about it, and I talk about it wherever I can. We have not had access and opportunity. Right across Canada, Indigenous people were left out of the economic system by policy, design, and on purpose. And so in our neck of the woods, we had legislation that would prevent us from even being doctors. But we've always persevered. We had our small sort of basket making people who did that. And we've always had entrepreneurial people in our lives.
Always, yeah.
Always. And so looking at that, and I think for the we got Indian Day School money. Some sad stuff happened while we were there, and both of us. And we thought, we're getting into the second half of the century of age, or 1 century, and half a century. And so I thought, well, let's leave something for our children and invest our money, whatever we have, in this pizza shop. And that's what we did. We committed our monies to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What is your favorite part about this pizza making venture?
You go ahead.
Go ahead. You've never said anything yet. I want to hear from you, honey.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, for me, it's been such a joy being able to work with my mom and dad and see them really pursue their dreams, because this has been a lifelong dream. I remember my parents talking about this when I was just a little girl, and we didn't have the means to get it. And then when they got their Indian Day School money, which really, it's a tragedy if you think about all the stuff our parents and our relatives had to go through at those schools. And then for my mom and dad, I'm going to try to say this without crying, is they were able to really turn it around and make it into something positive.
And that's something I'm sure, like I said, a lot of people could certainly relate to. Now, you guys are getting calls and orders nonstop. I have to ask, what is the most popular pizza request that you guys get?
Go ahead, Dad.
It's the Sasquatch pizza.
Yeah.
Why
Why
is it the Sasquatch pizza?
I think they like the name, the taste of it, and who makes
Well, we
it.
got 4 different meats that people have not put together before.
Yeah.
And if anything is going to bring Sasquatch out of the woods, it's going to be this pizza. I truly believe that.
He'll come knocking on the door. He might have. I missed it a couple times.
But yeah, and so he was always called Sasquatch.
My whole life.
Yeah.
The last 30 years was just like a community guy here, just Sasquatch, and then another person's that. And then my social media, they'll throw Sasquatch at me. The other day, a relative of mine sent in a ribbon skirt of Sasquatch on the front of the ribbon skirt, and she said, "I think your wife will look pretty in this." She goes, right? Oh yeah, he said, right? I got a plate from the same person, and it's Sasquatch on the plate, and it's got the 7 Mi'kmaq virtues on it. So
what's sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. What's on the Sasquatch pizza?
What is it?
What's on it?
Oh, we have what's on it is
we're giving our secret away.
Oh yeah,
that's okay. We'll be all right. We got
4 meats. It's
Go ahead. We got to think about that's good. We're new business people, so
it's a certain bacon, it's a certain salami, it's a certain pepperoni, and it's donair meat.
Yeah.
All right, you guys aren't giving the secrets away. All right, you guys aren't giving the secrets. I had to ask. And with all of this early success, are you guys thinking about expansion at all? I mean, like I said, it hasn't even been a month, but are you guys thinking about that at all?
We have to. There was like within the first about a week and a half, we were like, oh God, we need a bigger building. We need another pizza oven. When it's really busy, we've got pizzas made, but they're waiting to get into the oven. We can fit 4 extra large in there. We just made some for the band office today. So that went well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we do need to expand already. And we already have that in the works, planning for the spring.
Well, hopefully that can certainly come to fruition and ease the tension a little bit with all the calls and the busyness. All right, I have to ask, out of the 3 of you, who makes the better pizza? I don't want to cause any trouble here, but I gotta ask it.
There.
Amber's not in the room. She can't point at us.
It's my mom. My mom has been the powerhouse behind this business. She's the one that's been working so hard for months to bring this to reality. She's the pizza maker. She makes the best pizza. In all of Mi'kmaq, I want to say bravely.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You're causing a fight now.
Sasquatch.
It's a tribal war. We don't need that.
Sasquatch
I don't want
approved.
that. To all the grandmas and aunties out there, we all do the best. Yep.
Oh, guys, this has been just a great time, and I can't thank you guys enough for being on here, and
Thanks, Darryl.
wish you guys nothing but the best of success, and it seems like you guys are certainly on that track already, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, well, that's a wrap for you on InFocus, and I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. It's a good thing Melissa sent me and the hardworking APTN crew this pie from Thompson Style Pizza. Now, there's 2 big pies here. I don't think I'm going to eat them all. But before we get into me eating the actual pizza here, if you want to see if there's some deadly pizza near you, you can check out our post on the APTN News Facebook page. It's gotten over 350 comments, so make sure to check that out. And this episode of InFocus will be available for download as a podcast on our website, aptnnews.ca/podcast. And if you missed any of the shows and you want to catch up, you can check out our website, aptnnews.ca. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the rest of your day and maybe have a slice or 2 of pizza, which I think I'm going to do right about now.